And so we are almost there on the Facebook Live setup. Let's see where we're at. And we are live on Facebook as well. So hello to the Facebook crowd that is joining us today. All right. And we have J Train joining in as well. And is Big Nick joining us, J Train?
Yes, he is.
He is. Yeah, great.
I'm on Zwift.
You're on Zwift. Okay, great. Do you have a separate camera, maybe, Big Nick, so that we could see you too?
Oh, I thought of that.
Mark Kaplan. Mark Kaplan?
Hey, Mark, thanks for joining us here. Mark, how you doing today?
I don't see anybody else. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We're going to periodically mute you during the workout, but if you click on gallery view, you'll be able to see everybody that's out there.
Top right corner, Mark.
I don't see gallery view here, though.
Top right corner.
Let's see. Okay, hold on.
Mark, you haven't managed to convince your wife to give you a haircut yet, have you?
Oh, is it unbelievable, eh?
Well, amazing, guys. So thanks to everybody for joining in at this point. And so we're going to be starting in just about 2 minutes here. So I'm just getting all my stuff lined up. So today's workout, when we get started, we're going to have just a light warm up. So as we go through the warm up, Coach James and I will tell you a little bit about what we're doing today. And when the workout starts, just to maintain the audio quality, everyone's going to be muted. But if you had a question or a comment or you wanted to say anything, you could just raise your hand and I can easily unmute you. And that way you guys can let us know what you're thinking. So right now, everybody's going to be muted except for James and myself. All right. And Cyril, I'm just going to have to mute you as well. All right, guys. Fantastic. So we're going to be starting in a minute. So get everything lined up in terms of starting your sessions just at the same time as the countdown clock. And we have a really good turnout here. So let's just take a look at who we have. So we have Miss Piggy, we have Trophy Wife, we have Mark Kaplan, we have Dania, Dennis Fragis, the Queen of Extreme, Gail, Jacques, J-Train, JF, and Brenda, Jimmy, Sting, Mean Gene, Sylvie, Melody, the Butcher. We have what the Miss Piggy refers to as Computer Man, Nick. We have Ted, we have Cyril, and we have myself and Coach James. So great turnout, guys. So it's fantastic to have everybody here together. So we're all going to be working really hard together throughout our workout. Okay, so let's get ready. So we are underway with our session. And now we're just going to be starting off with a 4-minute easy ride at 50% watts. And the 4-minute easy ride, if you have power, you want to be doing it at about 50%. If you don't have access to power, we're looking at, just, a 3 or 4 out of 10 effort. Throughout the workout, I'll be telling you guys RPE efforts in case you don't have access to power. And if you do have access to power, just keep an eye on your power output on your screen using whatever program that you guys are using. So, special guest, head coach from Power Watts P2 and partner of mine for the last few Saturdays, Coach James Cote. How are you today, James Cote?
Mark, I'd like to think that I've been partner of yours for the last few years.
Oh,
not just the last few weekends.
So our ongoing bromance has continued for a long period of time. You know, I'm even trying to grow a beard kind of like you, but, you know, it's just not the right color.
No. Well, mine has to stay short because it's actually getting more and more gray these days.
Oh, oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited for my beard and my hair to turn gray. So that way I look more distinguished and maybe people will take what I say more seriously.
We'll take you a little more seriously, maybe.
Maybe, but I don't know. That might be a stretch.
You might have to put a button-up shirt on and a pair of pants with a belt to get that to work too.
Oh yeah, well, you know, I do have a button-up shirt. Maybe I'll wear it for our ride next Saturday. I've kind of gone through my whole series of animal shirts. So today I'm wearing the crocodile on the bicycle shirt. I've kind of run out of shirts, but I do have a very fancy shirt that I might be able to wear. Perhaps we'll do that next Saturday. Okay, guys, so let's take a look at what we're going to be doing today. So our workout today. So in our warm-up, after we're done this 4-minute build or 5-minute steady ride at 50%, we're going to be doing segments of progressively higher cadence. We're going to do 1 minute at 80%, 100 RPM, 1 minute at 90%, 105 RPM, and 1 minute at 100% and 110 RPM. And in between those 1-minute surges, we're going to be doing a minute and a half at 60%. So the surges are meant to bring up the cadence, bring up the power a little bit, but not to create extra fatigue because you guys get to go down to 60% in between. So that's what we're going to be doing in the warm-up. And then there's 2 parts to our workout today. The first part, we're going to be doing 3 exercises of 15-second acceleration, 15-second recovery. So we're going to do one of them where you're going to be sitting for all the 15-second accelerations. The second one, you're going to be standing for all the 15-second accelerations. And the third one, you're going to do 1 rep sit, 1 rep stand. That way we kind of really touch on that acceleration skill, which is very important in cycling. Then after that, we take a long break. We're going to take a 4-minute recovery period. And after that 4-minute recovery period, we're going to do our main drill of the day called the Escalation drill. It's a 26-minute exercise, and we have intervals ranging from 30 seconds to 2.5 minutes that we're going to be doing. And as we go through this, we'll give you guys the reasoning behind why we're doing such a drill, but it's really going to develop your threshold power. So it's going to help improve your ability to do things like time trials, like we do at Power Watts, 20-minute time trials or 30, 40-minute rides like we've been doing throughout the Power Watt season before the whole COVID situation. And we're going to end it with some progressively higher anaerobic power drills. All right, guys, so now let's go up to 60% for a minute and a half, and then we're going to go into our first little pace increase of 80% and 100 RPM. So for those of you guys on Zoom, if you want to see everybody riding, which is a great experience, you can click on the gallery view. Or if you want to concentrate a little bit more on what's coming up, you can pin the video of me, and then you'll always see the CPX gauge in the background, and you'll see all the power targets that are coming up. So whatever suits you best. Another option is you could put it in speaker view, and if you put it in speaker view, then you'll see me when I'm talking, and you'll see James when he's talking, and if any other rider says anything, then they will pop up on the screen. All right, guys. So we're about to go to our first increase to 80% and 100 RPM. Don't worry too much if you don't have access to power or cadence. All you want to be doing is bring your effort level to maybe a 6, 6.5 out of 10, and you want to be pedaling a little bit faster than you normally would at this point in the workout just to get the leg speed going. So we're going to be doing that in 15 seconds, guys. Little tricks at the higher cadence. You could slide forward on the saddle a little bit. You can kind of drop your toes down a little bit and focus on sweeping the bottom of the pedal stroke. These are all tricks just to make the higher cadence a little bit easier to do. All right, guys. So here we go. 80%, 100 RPM for a minute. And take your time here to build up the power and build up the cadence. If you're slow to warm up, some people warm up quickly and can jump in right away. But if you're a little bit slower to warm up, that's fine. Just build it up gradually, and that way you know that you'll be ready by the end of the warm up. So good stuff, guys. I can see everybody spinning the legs. And Mark, I see you're adjusting your background a little bit there. Hopefully you'll be back on the bike in a sec to get going. All right, so we got a couple more seconds like this, 15 more seconds, and then we go down for a minute and a half at 60%. So we're about to go down. So Coach James, let me ask you something. So in our first drill today, we're going to be doing a bunch of 15-second accelerations and 15-second little recoveries. And that's very different than the second exercise that we're doing. The second exercise is that 26-minute effort that I was telling you about. So what would be the benefits of having those 15-second surge relax drills in our exercises here today?
So this first little part of the workout, what I want you guys to think of it kind of like, you know, when you watch your favorite TV show, sometimes at the start of the episode, there's a little previously on The Sopranos, blah, 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 and you get a little recap. This is us doing a little recap of the work that you've done the last 2 Saturdays, particularly last week on Saturday with all the different 20-second seated and standing accelerations. Just a little reminder, just to keep that fresh in your legs and keep that fitness. And also, this stuff that we'll be getting into the beginning is very different from the type of riding that you, for the most part, that you do outside now that the weather's getting better and you're riding around pretty steady, building up a lot of aerobic volume, just to keep the ability to do these hard accelerations fresh in the legs so that you have those tools when you do want to use them.
Well, fantastic. So there you go, guys. We're going to make sure that we leave no fitness behind. So we're about to go to 90%, guys. So let's go to 90%, around 105 on the RPM. So that was a great explanation from Coach James. Sometimes the term that's used for that in the coaching world is leave nothing behind. What that means is it's a little bit harder to build fitness than it is to maintain fitness. So we took 2 full classes to develop acceleration. So after we've developed it, to maintain that acceleration, all we got to do is sprinkle it in every now and then. And that definitely also applies to your outdoor riding. Think about all the hard work and different drills that we did at Power Watts all season. You don't need to do all that stuff outside, but every now and then do an acceleration or do a 30-second or 1 minute really hard effort or attack a hill for 2 minutes, 3 minutes to keep all those skills that we've developed over time fresh in your body, fresh in your mind. Okay, so we're almost done here, this 90% at 105 RPM. So good work on the cadence, guys. And now let's go down to 60%. So Coach James, do you have any advice for our riders? Some of the accelerations are sitting, some are standing. You gave us some really good pointers last week. Do you want to maybe remind everybody about some of those tricks?
Yeah, you want to think of the accelerations. It really, you want to use the same principle as driving a standard car. So you need to drive through the gear that you're in before changing gears. So either seated or standing, either acceleration should start off with an acceleration in the gear that you were doing your recovery in. So really plow through the gear that you were in first. See if you can drive the cadence up to the point where you don't really have much pressure under your feet anymore. Then add gears. And if you're staying seated, then you just remain seated and add the gears that are required to get the right pressure under your feet again. If you're standing, add the gears first, wait a half a second before standing up. Wait till you feel like you have something pushing up against you before you stand up to avoid that feeling of getting up with very little pressure under your feet, which inside on your bike isn't comfortable and outside on your bike isn't very safe.
So there you go, guys. So some good pointers. We'll give you guys a quick reminder of that during the recovery period after the warm-up here. But just so that ideas start bouncing around your head a little bit of how you might approach those accelerations. So final element of our warm-up, guys, let's go up to 100% and 110 RPM. So once you get up to that power, start tweaking those gears and get that leg speed. The exact RPM is not as important as the feeling that you're pedaling a little bit faster than usual. So great work, JF and Brenda. Got that leg speed going. Good work, Mark. Excellent work. Keep it up, J-Train. Try to keep the upper body nice and steady, J-Train. Well done, Sting. Miss Piggy and Professor got a good cadence going. Jimmy, well done. Way to keep that upper body steady, Jimmy. Cyril working on the leg speed. Queen of Extreme, hair in the wind. You have a fan on there, Queen of Extreme. Wow, you got a nice setup. So keep it up, Trophy Wife. Keep it up, Melody. Very nice, Jacques. So Ted, the Butcher, Dennis, great work, guys. And Dania, you look fantastic with those glasses. You know, I'm unusually excited at seeing those glasses. I'll tell you why during the rest period. I might age myself a little bit, though, by telling you why. Okay, guys, so 3-minute recovery period. So let me just first ask, James, why do you think I'm so excited about Dania's glasses?
I couldn't tell you about it. I couldn't tell you, brother.
So Dania's glasses. So I'm a big fan of wrestling. Dania's glasses. It looks like she's Bret the Hitman Hart, one of Canada's greatest professional wrestlers. And a funny story, James, you'll appreciate this. I don't know if anybody else will, but a rider from Power Watts West Island's husband is also a big wrestling fan, and he doesn't ride at Power Watts, but he came to a Power Watts class with his wife, girlfriend, to show me that he has an original pair of Bret the Hitman Hart sunglasses. And it was an incredible experience. So, Dania, that just keeps that fresh in my mind. So I appreciate that very much. All right, guys. So 2 minutes before we start our acceleration exercises. So our first batch of accelerations, 15 seconds at 65% just to get some momentum. Then 15 seconds seated acceleration. The accelerations in terms of the power output, for those of you guys that have power, we're looking at around 120%, maybe a little bit more. And if you don't have power, just give like an 8 out of 10 acceleration. So Iceberg, could you just remind us of those seated surge skills?
Right. So for the seated acceleration, guys, because you're not going to hop out of the saddle and grab put your body weight into it. You want to be able to, and the efforts are short, so it's important to get the power up quickly. So if you can, do your 60% efforts floating around 80, 85 RPM with a nice little pressure under your feet, then try to drive through that gear through the first half second to a second to get the initial acceleration. But you got to pay attention to that feeling of pressure under your feet. And as soon as you start to lose that, so once the cadence gotten up, once you've sort of driven it probably up over 90, 95 and got through the initial second acceleration, you'll need to go into a few gears harder to maintain the effort through the rest, because you'll be able to get up over 120% accelerating that gear, but you probably won't be able to hang on to 120% in that gear.
So fantastic, guys. So Gail has a question. What's your question, Gail?
Is it small ring or big ring at this point?
I'd suggest that you use the big ring at this point because the power output is rather high, like 120%. So that the big ring will give you a better feel underneath your feet. The more teeth that are in contact with the chain, the better the feel. So the big ring is the way to go for this one. All right, guys. So we're going to go to 65%. And like James suggested, maybe ballpark 85 RPM. Some of you might prefer a little higher. Some of you might prefer a little lower. But we have 4 identical accelerations that we're going to do so you can experiment with different tactics. All right, guys. So first one coming up in 3, 2, 1, and seated acceleration to 120%. Work that leg speed. And just like James said, maybe a couple seconds in, you might go a gear or two harder. But if you feel okay at the cadence, stick to it. So keep it up, guys. And let's back it off, 65%. So when we go back to 65%, just ease a bit off the pedals. You might go 1 or 2 gears easier to prepare for the next acceleration. Okay, so here we go. Accelerating again. 3, 2, 1, and kick it up. Good. Nice acceleration. Trophy Wife. Way to be, Melody. Keep it up, Queen of Extreme. Nice work, J-Train and Sting. Keep it up, Cyril. Couple more seconds, Jacques. Dennis, nice work. Nice position, Dennis. Super steady on the bike. All right, so let's ease it back to 65%. So ease those watts down. Then if you need to make your gearing adjustment, make the gearing adjustment. Okay, and get ready to kick it up again in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Spin those legs up. Good way to be, Jimmy. Way to be, Mark. Great work, Mean Gene. Miss Piggy, Professor, great leg speed. JF and Brenda, great work, guys. Ted, way to be. Well done, the Butcher. All right, and so let's ease it off. So now we got one more. So I want everyone just to give a little bit extra punch at the start of this one. Okay, so just shoot it up to a higher power initially and then hold 120 the rest of the way. So get ready, guys. 3, 2, 1. So throw a little bit more force into those pedals. Yeah, excellent. Okay, and now just look at the power, ease it down to around 120%. And that way we're not taking out too much juice out of the legs, but we're really working that acceleration. All right, guys, so back it off. So Coach James, could you give us a quick recap on the standing tactics? Because we're about to do 4 standing efforts here.
So we want to use the same principle in our standing tactics, it's just a couple more steps because we have to get up. But you should, 2 seconds out from your effort, accelerate from your seated position, so that you start getting the power up there before you actually have to worry about getting up out of the saddle. So you accelerate, you add your, if you started from 80 RPM, anywhere from 3 to 4 harder gears, but don't stand up immediately. Again, give it a second, wait till you feel that harder gear kind of press against your feet again, so you have something to feel like you're getting up into.
All right, guys, so let's get a little bit of momentum going here.
2 seconds.
Okay, so 2 second. So give a little acceleration sitting now. Give a little acceleration. Now pop it 3, 4 gears harder and up out of the saddle. The number of gears you go harder is really going to depend on what kind of standing cadence you like to use. We have 4 attempts at this, so you could try different cadences. Great standing positions, guys. And ease it down. And Nick, it's great to see you're on the bike today. Fantastic. Getting a little workout in there. Okay, so ease it back to 65%. Keep some momentum. Okay, now get ready. Accelerate sitting. Couple gears harder and standing up. And some of you guys might have to go several gears harder. Some of you guys might not even change gears. It depends on the lead up RPM that you're using. Good. Well done, guys. Nice standing positions. Wow, Jimmy, great standing position. Great stability through the upper body. And let's ease it down here, guys. 65%. So now we got 2 more of these. So practice getting a little bit more force into the pedals initially. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and throw your weight into the pedals to shoot those watts up a little higher. So Gail, on the next one, I want you to go 1 or 2 gears easier when you stand up. Good. Way to be, Jacques. Way to be, Dennis. Melody, fantastic. Super job, Queen of Extreme. Nice work, Cyril. Sting, I'm sure you're really happy about these standing efforts here. It's looking great. All right, guys. So one more standing effort. I want you to really focus on really pushing into the pedals for the first few seconds to just to shoot those watts up quicker. So 3, 2, 1, and shoot those watts up as you guys stand up. Good. Way to be, JF. Drive those knees. Great position, Brenda, standing in the drops. Way to be, Ted. Super job, Dania. That's great. The Butcher looking good. Wow, Dennis, great knee drive. All right, guys, so let's ease it off. Way to be, J-Train and Mark. Great accelerations, guys. So 45 seconds rest. So the next batch of accelerations, these are our final batch of accelerations. We're going to be doing the first one and the third one sitting, and the second one and the fourth one standing. So you're going to have to put together the different skills that Coach James was telling us about. So the way that you accelerate sitting for one of them, and then the way you accelerate standing for the next one is going to be a little bit different. But let's shoot the watts up to 135% on each acceleration. We have the same lead up period before each one, 15 seconds at 65%. Okay, guys, so let's go to 65% for 15 seconds. Let's bring it up. Take your time just to build up a little bit of momentum. The first acceleration is sitting. So you might want to be at around 80, 85 RPM, maybe even 90, so you can quickly accelerate the gear. So 3, 2, 1, and just quickly accelerate that gear. Keep that pressure underneath the feet like Coach James was telling us. Whip through the range of motion of the pedal stroke to sustain the power. Good, nice work, guys. So ease it down to 65%. So the next one is standing. So you'll probably need 1 or 2 gears harder than what you just used, and practice throwing yourself into the pedals to shoot those watts up quick. So get ready. 3, 2, 1, and shoot it up to 135%, guys. Standing up. Good. Great standing positions. Way to be, Queen of Extreme. Well done, Melody. Great job, Trophy Wife. Great standing position. Way to be, Gail. Great job, Dania and the Butcher. and ease it down. And Dennis, wow, great standing cadence. Way to be. Okay, so let's back it off. So next one's sitting. So make sure you go 1, maybe 2 gears easier and quickly accelerate sitting. So here we go, guys. 3, 2, 1, and give that quick acceleration. Give that quick seated acceleration. Some of you might find the sitting harder, so just think about running over top of those pedals to maintain that power output. Almost there, guys.
Forward in the saddle, guys.
And let's back it off. And Coach James just mentioned it's helpful to go a bit forward in the saddle on those seated accelerations, something to keep in mind that you might need to use later. Okay, last one, standing acceleration. So keep a bit of momentum. So start building it, and stand up and throw yourself into the pedals, guys. Drive down into the pedals. If your cadence starts to get higher and higher, you can also think about driving the knees up to sustain the cadence. So great accelerations here, guys. We got some really solid power outputs. All right, and let's ease it down. Well done. Excellent. So 4 minutes of recovery. And so now, hopefully everybody appreciated those accelerations, appreciated the opportunity to practice what we practiced last Saturday and the Saturday before. So excellent work, guys. Great work on the accelerations. And if you guys go for a ride outside this weekend, during the week sometime, periodically throw in these little accelerations so that you don't leave anything behind in all the fitness that you guys have been developing during the Power Watts at Home program and while at Power Watts. So Coach James, do you have any pointers you want to mention before we move on to our next drill?
Yeah, like Mark was saying, doing little things like this, just playing around while you're riding outside is really helpful, just to not forget it. Like we were saying, it takes a lot of work to figure out how to do this stuff, but once you've got it in your toolkit, you just need to use it once in a while to keep all that stuff fresh. So a couple of 10, 15 second sprints, just messing around, having fun when you're on a safe stretch of road. A little harder on one small climb, just to keep yourself alive, can really go a long way in keeping your Power Watts style fitness up through the outdoor season.
Fantastic. All right, guys. So there you go. Some good advice from Coach James on how to approach your outdoor rides. Add some variability into there. Okay, so now we still got about 2.5 minutes of recovery before we do our second drill of the day. It's a 26-minute drill. It's called the Escalation drill. And what we're trying to do with this exercise is put together the fitness that you guys developed during the 10 times 2-minute challenge that we did on Wednesday for those of you guys that were here, and the 10 times 30-second challenge that we did several workouts ago. We're going to combine those different elements of fitness. So Coach James, could you tell us a little bit about this drill that's coming up to get everybody ready?
So we got 26 minutes of riding to do, guys. The average of the whole set's going to be 85%.
And I'll just mention briefly, it's not 26 minutes of continuous riding. There are recovery periods in there.
Yeah.
So you're going to do a period, then recover. So sorry, James, go ahead.
And the average power of that 26-minute block, including those recoveries, is 85%. But because we fairly aggressively ramp things up at the end, the feeling of that 26-minute or the normalized power is going to be 100%. And that's because that hard work at the end is exponentially more challenging than the steady work towards the beginning, not to mention the fatigue that we're going to slowly build up during the first 2/3 of the effort. But if you crushed your 2 minutes of hell, your fatigue resistance should be stellar right now. And riding around for 2.5 minutes at 100% shouldn't feel very daunting.
So there you go, guys. So the exercise, the 26 minutes, the intensity or the normalized power, like James was telling us, is around 100%. So this is roughly equivalent in difficulty to riding for about 20 or 26 minutes at 100%. But the good thing is those recovery periods that are in there will help break things up mentally, break things up physically. But then you got to be ready to give that big effort near the end and put your fatigue resistance to the test. Okay, so our first effort, not challenging, 30 seconds at 100%, whatever cadence you guys want. Okay, so let's get ready to give it a try. Then you get a 30-second rest. So 3, 2, 1, and let's go to 100% for 30 seconds. And then you get a 30-second rest. And then as the drill progresses, you're going to stay at 100% for a while, but the duration is going to increase from 30 seconds to 60 seconds to 90 seconds to 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes. And it's going to keep escalating up until we get to 2.5 minutes. So that's what we're going to be doing in this first part of the exercise. So 3, 2, 1, and 30 seconds of recovery. Great. So that first 30 seconds just gave your body a slight feel for what the 100% is going to be like. And we're going to build this all the way up to 2.5 minutes at 100%. Once we get to the 2.5 minute mark, then the efforts are going to get shorter again, but the intensity is going to start to go higher. And that's what James was talking about, it becoming exponentially more difficult at the end. All right, guys. So let's go to 100% for 1 minute. So 100% for a minute. Find different body positions, different cadences that make this feel comfortable for you guys. And that way you're trying to conserve as much energy as you can. I'm sure you can imagine doing 2.5 minutes at 100% or even a little bit over 100% a bit later in this exercise is going to be pretty challenging. So right now it's about energy conservation. And that might mean pedaling faster for some of you guys. It might mean pedaling slower for some of you guys. But whatever you do, make something that feels comfortable. So we got 20 seconds to go, and then we have a 30-second recovery. So between all of these efforts that I was mentioning that we build up and up and up in the duration, it's always a 30-second recovery. So at first, 30 seconds feels great, but as the efforts get longer, it's probably going to feel inadequate. So we're almost there. So good riding, guys, at 100%. So 3, 2, 1, and back it off. So 30 seconds to recover. I did not mention, but those of you guys that don't have access to power at home, at this point, you want to be riding at maybe an 8, 8.5 out of 10 effort, but you want to feel fairly recovered after each of the 30 seconds. And then that level of difficulty is going to escalate. Okay, guys. So now next one, it's a 1.5 minutes at 100%. Now that we're extending past a minute, you might start to feel the difficulty accumulating. So 3, 2, 1, and here we go. For those of you guys that ride, when you guys ride at Power Watts, if you like to use the battery as an analogy or the battery on screen, when you guys do 1 minute at 100%, that's draining about 5% of your battery, and that's about equivalent to burning 1 match. Okay, and everybody has a limited match box of energy. So now we're doing more than a minute at 100%. So we're looking at burning maybe almost 2 matches of energy here. And as the drill goes, the number of matches that you burn becomes more and more and more. And you'll see when that difficulty really picks up for you. Is it after you do this for 2 minutes? Is it after you do it for 2.5? Does it always stay comfortable? And that helps give us an idea, maybe if we can adjust your training targets at home. Okay, so we got another 30 seconds to go, and then we got our 30 seconds recovery. I want everyone to do a quick spot check of their body. Relax your face, neck, shoulders, and elbows. Okay, relax your grip on the handlebars a little bit, and think about breathing slowly. We don't want to be breathing like a dog. That might happen later, and that's okay, but right now we want to keep a slow and smooth breathing rhythm. So keep it up, guys. We got a couple more seconds, and then we're going to back it off for 30 seconds. All right, so fantastic work. So 30 seconds recovery. So now we're up. The next one is 2 minutes in duration, about 10% battery drain on this next one that's coming up, or the equivalent of about burning 2 matches, if you guys like that analogy. Good. So I see everyone taking a sip of water, regrouping the body positions, taking a breath. And now let's bring it back up to 100% for 2 minutes. So 3, 2, 1, and here we go. So Coach James, while you're doing efforts at around 100%, say for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, what kind of thoughts are going through your head, or what are you doing to assure your success on these type of exercises?
Well, through long efforts like this, I like to try to think about details instead of, any potential discomfort that I might be having. So how my pedal stroke's going, making sure I'm carrying over the top, push down, sweep back. Like Mark mentioned before, make sure I'm totally in control of my breathing, into my belly, long exhales, right? Face is relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, elbows bent, soft hands. And trying to I'm trying to make it look real pretty for anybody who might be watching.
Ah. So you try not to look awful yet, at least.
Exactly. The breathing's a big one, guys, though, especially during your short breaks. Try to, especially as we get deeper into it now, really focus on your process through those 30-second breaks. So all the pressure off your feet so your nervous system can relax. Big, deep breaths in to fill your stomach, not your chest, and long exhales.
Fantastic, guys. So these are great pointers. It's always a good idea to have a focal point that's different than the clock, or different than just the power. That way you keep your focus internal, and periodically you take a look at the power to ensure that your feel of what you're doing is on target. All right, guys. So keep it up, Trophy Wife. Well done, Melody. Great work, Queen of Extreme. Sting, very nice. You have a crowd behind you there, Sting. Well done, J-Train. Keep it up, Mark. Great riding, Mark. Well done, Jimmy. Well done, Cyril. Jacques, that's looking good. Dennis, well done. Gail, nice riding. Good position, Gail. Nicely aerodynamic there. The Butcher looking good. Well done, Miss Piggy and Professor. Mean Gene, very nice. Keep it up, Nick. JF, Brenda, Ted, and Dania, well done, guys. So 30 seconds to back it off. Excellent. So perhaps you're starting to feel the accumulation of fatigue now on these efforts. So we've just done the 2 minutes. So now the next one is going to be 2.5. So this is the longest effort. We're going to do 2 of them back to back. So 2.5 minutes at 100%, 30 seconds recovery, then another 2.5 minutes at 100%. And after that, the efforts start to get shorter. Okay, so here we go, guys. Up to 100% for 2.5 minutes. So bring those watts up. You might stand for a little bit at the beginning, or stand for a little bit in the middle, just to, mix up the body position. If you don't like to stand, then sitting all the way is another good way to go. So good riding, guys. So a little concept that I just want to mention. Those of you guys that had a chance to participate in the 2 minutes of hell challenge, we had Coach Paulo on the line, and he told us about a really interesting concept. And during, say, a longer effort, like a 2 minutes or 2.5 minute effort, he was talking about the concept of kind of going through the minefield, or the hell zone, between, say, 30 seconds and 90 seconds of the effort. So it's that middle piece of the effort that's often the most challenging. So when you guys are doing this type of exercise, if it gets really challenging through the middle, you can almost use it as a guide to yourself. Oh, I am doing something right, because it is starting to get difficult. And all you got to do is, you don't think, oh no, I got a minute and a half or 2 minutes left. You say, all I got to do is get over the hump. I got to get to that last minute or that last 30 seconds. So practice this idea of working through the minefield, which you're probably going to experience a bit on this rep, a little bit on the next rep, because that's a great way to develop mental toughness in order to work through that difficulty through the middle, knowing that you're going to be able to succeed well at the end. So we're in the last minute here, guys. So Dennis up out of the saddle, Professor up out of the saddle. Good work, guys. Keep it up, Melody. Nice position. Trophy Wife, keep that up. Ted kicking it up out of the saddle for a bit. Danny, a really nice riding, really nice steady upper body position. Super job. Keep it up, Cyril. Great focus. Well done, the Queen of Extreme. Sting, you're doing a great job. Really like to see the good sitting position you're doing there, Sting. You're definitely going to have to stand later. Keep it up, J-Train. Keep it nice and smooth. Mean Gene, very nice. Great ride, and Mark. Keep it up, Jimmy. And the Butcher, good stuff. So we're definitely over the hump here, guys. 15 seconds to go. So just try to do it. Release some of the tension from your body if you're really tight. Don't just wait till the rest period to unload some of that tension. So we're almost there. So 3, 2, 1, and back it off. So fantastic, guys. 30 seconds recovery. And then this next one, for some of you, might be one of the hardest exercises, because it's 2.5 minutes at 100% again. So all the subsequent reps get shorter and shorter. So this is the last time that we're doing our 2.5 minute exercise. So we're aiming for 100% watts as steady as you guys can, in as relaxed a state as you guys can. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, and up to 100%. Use whatever tactics you guys need. Explore different tactics. So, Gail, I see you're standing up. That's fantastic. Remember some of the hints that James Piccoli gave you as you sit back down to mix up the body position, mix up the cadence. Fantastic. Way to be, Brenda and JF. Great start to the effort. If you guys have power, hold 100%. If you don't have power, you want to be at a solid 8.5 to 9 out of 10 right now in terms of effort. So, Dennis, great cadence. Jacques, way to be. Keep that up. Great ride. And Nick, working hard. Excellent work. So, Iceberg, do you have any thoughts that you'd like to share with our riders during this long effort here?
Guys, like we were saying, just nice and steady, big deep breaths. Play with your body position a little bit, kind of break it up into pieces. So try the back of the saddle a little bit, a little forward in the saddle. Just get as comfortable as you can being uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a good one. Learning to be comfortable while uncomfortable, or being comfortable with discomfort. Those are keys to this sport. It's a funny term, but it's required in cycling and all endurance sports in general, just to accept that feeling of discomfort and practice working through it.
It's one of my favorite feelings of fitness, when you get to the point where you realize that something's hard, but you don't really care.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So that means, so you use that as an indication that your fitness is getting higher and higher.
Exactly. It's not always necessarily one's ability to push more watts. It's one's comfort level at medium hard efforts. And
So to be able to sustain more punishment.
And I find a really good sign for me that I'm getting fit is even when an effort starts and it's really hard and I'm really not looking forward to it, somewhere in the middle of it you realize that all that's still the same, but I just don't really seem to care.
Well, fantastic. So hopefully some of you guys don't care about any of the discomfort you're in. You've done a fantastic job, guys, on this 2.5 minutes. We got 10 seconds to go, so let's get it done. And then we have a 30-second recovery, and you can look forward to efforts that are a bit shorter or get progressively shorter. Keep it up, Cyril. I see you're working really hard. Way to be. All right, guys, so let's back it off. So 30 seconds of recovery. Okay, so now we have a really interesting part of the drill. We've just done a 2.5 minute effort. Now we're going to do 2 minutes, 90 seconds, 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then 30 seconds at the end. Okay, and now these might continue to get harder for a bit, but eventually as they get shorter, they might start to get easier. So let's see where that happens for you. But next one, 2 minutes at 105%. I want everyone to push hard through this one, okay? So 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Keep in mind that we're like halfway through the drill, and that idea of working through like the hell zone or going through the minefield in a single interval, it also applies to the drill as a whole. This might be the hardest part of the drill for you. So I want you to attack it. I want you guys to attack it, and don't worry about what's coming. Make this one your main focus, and then we'll figure out what to do on the next one. Keep it up, Queen of Extreme. Keep working hard. Keep it up, the Butcher. Good work, the Butcher. Well done, Trophy Wife. Riding in the drops. Way to be. Excellent work, Jacques. Great cadence, Dennis. Way to use the leg speed. Super job, Sting. Well done, Melody. Working that standing position. Super job, Danya. Looking really smooth. Looking really stoic right now. Really taking James' advice to heart. Excellent. So keep it up, Ted. Nice position, Ted. Keep working in the drops. Jimmy looking good. Nice riding, Jimmy. Keep it up, Mark. Now, everyone, do a quick spot check. Relax the face, neck, shoulders, elbows. If your breathing has gotten fast and you can't slow it down, that's okay, but still try to breathe a little bit more slowly. Good stuff, guys. So just get used to this feeling of discomfort. Welcome it as if you're doing something right. Learn not to care about it. Like Coach James was suggesting, could be a sign of fitness increase. Okay, so we're kind of over the hump here, guys. We only got 30 seconds to go in this one. Then you got 30 seconds to recoup. Keep it up, Queen of Extreme. Just a little bit more juice. Way to be, Queen of Extreme. So great work, Nick. Excellent work, Bettina. So 10 seconds to go, guys. Hanging in there, Gail. Hanging in. Great way to finish it, Dennis, with that cadence. Super job, Mark. Way to be, Mean Gene and J-Train. Okay, 30 seconds of recovery. So there you go. The 2-minute one is done. Next one, 90 seconds. Okay, now we're really challenging fatigue resistance here with all the accumulation of fatigue to this point. So make sure you start this exercise. Make sure you do the whole minute and a half and get to as close to 110% as you can. So here we go, guys. 3, 2, 1, and let's start it off. Just a quick note, if anybody's really starting to run into trouble, the key adaptation here is going to come from the minute and a half of effort. So if you have to do it at 100% or 105% or a little bit below 110, that's fine. You got to get the whole minute and a half in. That's your focal point. Doing the whole minute and a half to get the volume that you need. So keep it up, guys. Keep working that power output. Because the duration is getting shorter, maybe you might find this one a little bit easier, but because the power effort is higher, you might equally find it harder. But just take note of which is the case for you, and we could talk a bit about that during the cool down. So we're getting there, guys. Relax the face, neck, shoulders, elbows. Welcome that feeling of discomfort. Focus on the details, like how you're pedaling, the position of your feet, how you're pushing on those pedals. Good way to be, Dennis. Keep it up, Ted. Great work, Miss Piggy and Professor. Excellent riding, Jimmy. Jimmy's staying really stoic as well. That's fantastic. Keep it up. Super job, Mark. Well done, J-Train. Wow, Cyril working hard. Way to be, Cyril. Keep it up, Jacques. Nice work, Mean Gene. Keep it up, Melody. Last few seconds, guys. So 3, 2, 1, and back it off. Wow. Okay. So the 90-second one is done. What we have next is a 1-minute effort. Psychologically, 1 minute is very different than anything longer than a minute. So now you can say to yourself, I could do anything for a minute here and really lean into those pedals, guys, for this next one. Start quick. Start at a bit over 115% and then settle into the target. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, and quick accelerations, guys, up to 115%, or maybe a little bit more initially. Think about that concept of working through the minefield. Everyone's about to enter the minefield now. It's going to last until you get to about the last 15 seconds. Use this as an opportunity to talk positively to yourself through the difficulty and learn ways to overcome that resistance to slow down. Good. Super job, Melody. Great standing position. If anybody needs to stand for the whole minute, now's a good time, or stand for the last 30 seconds. Keep it up, Miss Piggy and Professor. JF and Brenda, great work. Keep that up, JF. Super job, Sting. Great power output, Queen of Extreme. Keep that up. Keep it up, the Butchers. Way to be, Danya. We're over the hump, guys. We're over the hump. Everyone pedal faster in the last 10 seconds to resist the urge to slow down. Great work, Jacques. Keep it up, Dennis. Keep it up, Gail. All right, so ease it down. Amazing. So now we're down to 30-second efforts. So this brings us to more of a challenge similar to the 10 times 30-second exercise we did several weeks ago. So now we don't have 10 of them. We just have 5 of them. And the goal is to do each one of them at a progressively higher power, with the first one at 120. It's going to be tough with the accumulation of fatigue, but make sure you start quick. So get your momentum now. Get your momentum now and kick down into those pedals. And here we go. 30 seconds at 120%. Good way to beat the Butcher. Miss Pig and Professor really pissing those legs. Great work at JF and Brenda. Super job, Sting. Queen of Extreme, great work. Nice position, Danya. Nice stoic, still a nice stoic face on you. And you too, Jimmy. That's great. Keep it up, guys. 3, 2, 1, and 30 seconds of recovery. Now, if on your screen you have stats that show what power output you just did, on this next one, the primary goal is to go higher. Programmed into the workout is 10% higher. You might choose to only go 5% higher. You might choose to go 20% higher, depending on how you feel. But you want to go higher than what you just did. or you want to put out more effort than what you just did. So get ready to start quick. We are going in 3, 2, 1, and dig down into those pedals, guys. It's really key to accelerate quickly on these ones. Good, well done, Mean Gene. Good way to be, Cyril. Keep it up. Great start there, Queen of Extreme. That's fantastic. Mean Gene, way to be. Nick, great power output. Keep it up, the Butcher, all the way to the Butcher. Keep that foot pressure. 10 seconds, guys. In the last 10 seconds, always give a little acceleration to resist the urge to slow down. 3, 2, 1, and back it off. And we have an added treat now. The recovery periods are getting longer. So as the powers get higher, the recovery periods are getting longer. The recovery periods are getting longer to give your anaerobic system just that little bit of extra time to recover, not to make it easier, but to allow you to work harder during these 30-second efforts. Okay, so the next 30-second effort, I want you guys to put out more power than you just did, or put out more effort than you just did, and make sure that that first 5 to 6 seconds is really aggressive. Imagine like an aggressive rider segment at Power Watts, and then after that first 5, 6 seconds, settle into 140% or maybe a little bit more. So get ready. 3, 2, 1, and quick starts, guys, quick starts. Your body might resist the acceleration, but once you give it, your body commits to the effort. Good way to be, J-Train. Super job, Mark. Keep it up. Well done, Mean Gene. Excellent work, Jimmy. Work that power, Cyril. Great work, Jacques. Great work, Dennis. Keep it up, Trophy Wife. Well done, Sting and Melody. Keep it up, Nick. Queen of Extreme, Dania. Ted, way to be, guys. Oh, Ted, yeah, nice positional change. That'll give you extra half a kilometer an hour just doing that. All right, so let's ease it down. So you have 1 full minute of recovery. And now I just want you to think there's 2 efforts left. You have 30 seconds at 150 and then 30 seconds at basically all out. The target's 160, but you can go all out. But so I want you guys to really invest your energies in the last 2. Don't just save yourself for the last one. Put a big effort into this one, 150% or more. Then you get 1 minute, 15 seconds recovery. And then we do our final 30-second effort. I think everybody's over the hump here with the recovery periods getting a little bit longer. So let's be aggressive. Let's, go ahead with confidence to accelerate really hard and work through the difficulty you're going to experience halfway through the 30 seconds. So everyone, get some momentum. Go to about 50 or 60% watts here. So that way you can accelerate quick. And you got to accelerate really fast. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, and shoot those watts up. Let's go, guys. Drive down into the pedals. Wow, way to be, Sting. Way to challenge yourself to do it sitting. Excellent work, Gail. Keep that up. Way to be, the Butcher. Well done, Miss Piggy and Professor. JF and Brenda, 9.5 out of 10, guys. 9.5 out of 10. Excellent work, Mark. Keep it up, J-Train. Way to be, Cyril. Keep it up, Jacques. Don't forget, a couple seconds left. Everyone, accelerate. Accelerate to resist the urge to slow down. All right, and back it off. An Iceberg, you have the final word here. There's 1 effort left. What do you want to tell our folks at home here?
Full gas.
Full gas. As simple.
Like Mark's been saying, guys, fully commit yourself to the first 5, 7 seconds of the effort. The idea is to get the biggest, hardest acceleration you can out of the gate, and then just hang on with every ounce of energy you have left to what you got yourself up to. As you get past the halfway point, start to focus on some of the details. If you can see your cadence on whatever you're riding on, focus on trying to not let your leg speed change. Move forward towards the front of the saddle. Focus on the bottom of the pedal stroke, or accelerate a little bit, go a couple gears harder, and stand up through the last little bit. But if you're going to stand at the end, try to plan yourself so that you stand until it's finished.
All right, guys, so we're starting in 15 seconds. So start hard, and if you choose to stand up, you commit to standing all the way to the end, because if you sit down, your watts might go down. Okay, so get ready, guys. Last effort of the day. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Drive down into the pedals, guys. Everything you got in the first few seconds here.
Pull the handlebars, guys. Pull the handlebars.
Use your whole body. Use your whole body to generate the power. So keep it up, guys. Final 15 seconds. Now everyone give a second push. Move forward on the bike. Drive down deeper into the pedal strokes. Yeah, way to be, Dennis. Keep it up, Sting. Come on, guys. Way to be, Jimmy. Great leg speed. All the way, Danya. And that's it. Done. Holy cow. Wow. What finishes, guys. Fantastic work. 26 minutes of work in the books. Average power, 85% a bit, or maybe a bit higher. Intensity, 100%, maybe a little bit higher. Wow. What tremendous efforts, guys. Well done. Hopefully everybody experienced a little bit how we had to combine the fitness from the 2-minute challenge with the fitness from the 10 times 30-second challenge to be able to resist that fatigue and then still go highly anaerobic at the end. Wow. So tremendous work, guys. Congratulations on pulling off this workout. It was a tough one, but the fitness gains are going to be big. Takes a couple days to gain fitness from a workout like this, so you might not feel at your best tomorrow, but in 2-3 days from now, you'll definitely be recovered and feeling the benefits. So, Iceberg, any comments about our 26-minute drill that our friends at home have just done?
So, like we were saying about the riding outside, like think about that. So this goes to something like in bicycle nerd coaching talk, we would talk about fatigue resistance, right? So not necessarily your best 30 seconds, but your best 30 seconds after a certain amount of work. So deep, on your longer rides, deep into your longer rides, challenge yourself to do, a best shorter effort, 30 seconds or a minute. Just those of you in the West Island riding out to Rigo and you get to the climb and you've been out there for 2 hours already, and see how close you can get to your best 30 seconds after a certain amount of work has been done.
And that's one of the key skills that these professional cyclists have. It's incredible that these guys could put out really close to their, say, maximum 30-second power, 220 or 230 kilometers into a race. So that's one of the differences between us mere mortals and some of those pro cyclists. But you can improve your ability at doing that, just as James suggests. Get some riding in your legs and then challenge yourself to put in a big effort while you're in a fatigued state. So excellent work, guys. So congratulations to everybody who joined us. Great riding. Trophy Wife, Jacques, Dennis, Cyril, Jimmy, J-Train, Mark, Sylvie, I see you jump back on right for that last effort. Mean Gene, Miss Piggy and the Professor, the Butcher, Gail, Ted, JF and Brenda, Nick, Computer Man Nick, Danya, the Queen of Extreme, Sting and Melody. Thanks so much for joining in, guys. Does anybody have any comments that they'd like to say? You could raise your hand. I can unmute. Ted has a question, comment.
I'm just missing James's post-ride fist bumps.
Oh yeah, yeah. There we go.
I've been missing the pounds too, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I've touched a human being in 8 weeks.
Too much information.
Yeah. There's nothing quite like the in-person camaraderie of the Power Watch Center, but this is getting as close as we can. So you got your virtual fist pump, Ted. You'll have to. There we go. Fantastic. Anybody else? Anybody? So Melody says, thanks to you, James, for joining in. Great advice. So Danya, did you enjoy the workout today?
Yeah, it was really nice. The first one at home, but it was really, really cool.
Did you feel like Bret the Hitman Hart? Or do you even know who Bret the Hitman Hart is?
Could you remember the slowly, please? My English is not so perfect.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just being silly.
Okay.
But great ride, Danya. Thanks so much for joining in. And Mark, did you enjoy your first ride?
Thank you very much. I loved every minute of it. And where's Gail?
And Gail's there also. She's waving right now.
Thank you, Gail.
Well, thanks so much for joining, Mark. It was a pleasure to have you, and you were working hard. It was great to see you working hard today.
Great to see you, Mark.
And Jimmy, did you enjoy your ride today?
Yeah, Mark, hi. Yeah, it was awesome. I was just wondering, what should we do for the next couple of days? Just ride easy, take a day off, run?
Well, whatever exercise you do, you'll want to just go, like whether you run or cycle or swim. I guess you can't swim because pools are closed. Just do a nice easy day tomorrow. The term that's often used is to let your body absorb the fitness from the workout. And you absorb the fitness not by pushing hard again, but by, doing active recovery sessions to circulate the blood and allow, tissues to repair and your metabolism to adjust. And then a few days later, in 2 days, 3 days, then if you had another hard workout scheduled, whether it's a run or a ride, then you're good to go. But just think of that concept of allowing your body to absorb the fitness. So all the hard work that you did today maximizes your fitness gains over the long term.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. And now I know why I quit racing.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Yeah, this definitely recreated the demands of a race environment at some points in the workout. But super job, Jimmy, and it was great to have you in. And Jimmy and Mark and Danya and those of you guys that joined in for the first time, we're going to be doing another one Wednesday at noon. I don't know if that's convenient for everyone in terms of the time, but we'd love to have you guys join in. So I'm going to stay on the line on Zoom, and so will James. If you guys had any additional questions, everyone on Facebook, thank you guys for joining in. I'm just going to tune off on Facebook, but those of you guys on Facebook, if you want to join in again, Wednesday at 12 noon, and we'll be back for another great workout like this. So we're signing off of Facebook. So thanks, guys.